Good morning, everyone. This is Biz Chicks TV. This is the place where you can find tips and tools to help you do business better. We're here to help you run a profitable business that's fun to run and to take the hassle out of your hustle. And today is Monday, so I'm here with my partner, Miss Francine Gregory, real estate entrepreneur and tech diva. I'm Terralina from California Cover Ups, and we're the Biz Chicks. We just want you to know that on Monday, this is where we sit back, relax, hydrate, and find out some interesting things about how to navigate and do business better. So today, I just want to say welcome to all of you watching on the replay. And for those of you who are tuning in live, we just appreciate you and we want you to know that you are valued. So, with that, we're going to get this party started. We hope that you'll feel comfortable sharing this with a friend or subscribing to our YouTube channel. We are on YouTube, we're on Periscope, and we are on Facebook today. So,
Right.
with that, we hope that you will enjoy it from wherever you're watching, and especially from the comfort of your home if that's where you are today. Hi, Fran. How you doing?
I am well. How are you?
All is well. I got outside for the first time today, a
Oh,
long time, to take my walk because I like to walk in the fresh air. And the air quality hadn't been that wonderful for the last couple of weeks with the California fires. And so today the quality said green, and and I
I'm out.
I'm out. I was taking my walk indoors with walk indoors, but I wasn't as faithful as I was when I was able to get up and get out. And I feel very invigorated today.
Yeah.
Watched, I watched the sun come up while I was walking. It was all good. So I'm excited.
I'm excited too because it was, I too, I normally sleep with windows open and I couldn't do it.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, okay. Then I too looked at my the app on the phone for the weather, and if you scroll down a little bit, it'll tell you air quality,
Mm-hmm.
and it said it was good, and I was like, yes,
It's
okay.
all green today, so I'm excited.
So I really encourage you to get out and get some fresh air and some sunshine if you can, and it's good for you.
Mhm.
And I'm going to fix something here on Facebook because I sleep with windows open. And I was trying to share to the pages like we normally would do.
I know. Okay, so I'm going to go through here and see if
What?
I can get this done.
Yeah, because I was trying to find pages and swipe left to see comments.
And it's just a lot.
I just wanna
Just share, and that's what I'm saying. Every day it's a challenge with different things. So I'm going in here on my phone. I'm going to share it.
Okay, good. So programming is what we're going to be talking about today. Okay, yes, I do technology. Terry and I both do, and we work a lot with computers. I think right now in this century that we're living in, a lot of people are working with computers. So computers are running everything. Just about everything we do has a computer running it. And it's not necessarily the computer that's running it, it's the programming that is running things, how something is programmed. So I want to encourage you that from the beginning, from the onset, we were pre-programmed for success. We were pre-programmed to thrive. We were pre-programmed to prosper.
Mm-hmm.
Now, something happened in the programming, malicious code, whatever. In a computer world, if a virus gets into the computer, it causes things like slowdown, shut a system down, where it is rendered useless. Have you ever gone on your computer and a pop-up comes up and now you can't do the work because there's something, malware, something is happening, and the computer is stuck and it's sticky and you're trying to get something done and something keeps telling you, okay, you need to run this program or do something to get rid of the malware.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Well, that happens in life too. In life, malware gets in, wrong thought processes,
Oh.
wrong information that renders your in my estimation, a computer is your heart mind, your subconscious, your heart mind combination. You are a spirit, you have a soul or a mind and a conscious, a will, all of that wrapped up. That's
Mm-hmm.
where you kind of your thinking is generated. So a malware got in,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and thinking may get off. So now the thinking is off when you are programmed to prosper, but you think, oh, that's not for me, that's for the other people. That's malware.
Mm.
That's
Mm-hmm.
malware talking, because you've been pre-programmed to win.
Yeah.
Pre-programmed to succeed.
Mm-hmm.
Just like the birds are pre-programmed to fly, the fish are pre-programmed to swim. You
Mm-hmm.
are pre-programmed to win in life.
Okay, I like that.
So the malware gets in and tells you that you're not. That's for the other people,
Mm.
you. That's malware.
Okay, I see. So it's sort of like when you keep getting the notices, you need to upload this antivirus, da 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 da, and your computer doesn't need that. So
You are already
download it, and now you got some issues.
well, and those are the reason why that started was the antivirus situation used to be legit.
Mm-hmm.
It would tell you that there's something wrong. There's a misalignment in the program. There's something running rogue in the program, and you need to fix it.
Mm-hmm.
Because hackers can get in and put malware into the computer, and you need to know how to get it out. Okay, so the malware gets in there, tries to slow down the computer, stop your progress.
Okay.
It is simply there to stop your progress. But we've self-inflicted, see, as who we are, we get to choose what goes in our ears, what goes into
Mm-hmm.
our eyes, and what gets down into our heart, our computer. We get to choose the programming. That is the difference than somebody coming in unannounced on your computer and just loading up something. You understand what I mean? When so where you go, who you listen to, what books you read, what movies you watch, all are programming you and me.
Mm-hmm.
Everything we do we're being programmed.
Okay.
The pharmaceutical commercials that come on,
Mm-hmm.
we are being programmed. I'm telling you, everything that we watch is sending a message.
So every message is a form of programming. Is that what I hear you saying?
Every message is a form of programming. What are we allowing to be programmed into us?
Mm.
So a school of thought is, how do you get a school of thought? By hanging around these people who think this way, right?
Mm-hmm.
Socrates, Plato, and the rest of them
attending their school.
It was a school of thought. This is the general accepted. This is the accepted thought on this subject.
Mm-hmm.
As everybody got together and thought that this is all what we believe. So this is the accepted thought. And if you're in this circle, you probably think the same way they do. Whose circle are you in?
Mm-hmm.
And what are they saying? Because whatever that is a program that you have received.
Mm-hmm.
Programming. We'll never make it is programming. uh, so we have to watch what we watch. We have to listen to what we're listening to. What's being, because everything is programming us, and it might be just some little, you know how you hear some little comment, uh, just some little slight comment, and if you don't check it, it's going in.
Mm. Mm-hmm.
You're hearing it. And whatever, okay, so it's like planting a seed. When a seed gets planted into fertile soil, which
Okay.
you are, it's going to grow. The soil is going to grow. It's going to grow it no matter what the seed is. See, we think that if it comes in, oh, it's not going to have any effect. Yes, it has an effect. Once it gets in, it will grow.
Because that's what the soil does. That's its function, which is why we have to replace fence posts, because the soil is trying to grow that fence post, and so it weakens it because it's not, the fence post is not designed to propagate. It's dead wood, okay, but the soil doesn't know that.
The soil thinks it's a seed.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So too are words that come to us. They are seeds. Are we, and are we taking those seeds, and it's programming us? It's a seed, and the real you, your mind, will, emotions, your heart is going to try and grow that thing.
Mm-hmm.
It's going to try and process it and get it to grow. So it is very important about what is going in. Very important about what you allow in. I would say this: do not go to sleep with the TV on, because you really have no control of whatever is going in. It's going in, and you have no filter. Normally, when you're awake, you can say, "Oh no," and you change channels, or you pick up a book and you look at it and it's not what you need, and so you close that book up and you put it away. Right? You make choices. When you are sleeping, you have no choices. You're because the real you does not go to sleep. Your mind, your subconscious mind, it rests, but it meditates on whatever you have put in prior to.
Mm-hmm. So I ask this question: what is growing in your life? What are you growing in your life? Are you growing positive thoughts, negative thoughts? What do you see in your future? You know, are you even looking forward to the future? Have you gotten so, focused on the now, and you're not happy with the now, that's all you see? Because that means you lack hope. And we don't ever want people to get there.
No. Programming. You can program yourself for hope. You can program yourself for an expected victorious outcome. You can program for that. It's all about what you're reading, what you're listening to, what you're watching. So, what are you watching? What are you listening to? What's going in your headsets? What's going in your eye gates? What are you reading? All of this. I'm not saying that you can't watch a movie or you can't, do something fun, but everything you do is programming you. Everything is a seed, and the seed will grow. Do you understand? The seed will grow. It's not going to grow, because your subconscious mind will grow whatever you put in
it. I agree.
And I was like, wow. So I have to be mindful. And you know how a little baby, you don't want them to pick up just anything. They just put everything in their mouth.
Yes, yes, yes.
So what are we picking up and putting in? Some of that stuff is not good for us.
Okay. Now we know this, right? And the question is, how do we guard against the things? How do we know what's good for us, or guard against the things that are not good for us? Which I guess is the same way posing the question.
Okay.
What
So
are some of the things we can do to improve our state of mind, especially? And this is important. Why is this important to business people? Because as adults, we need to know why we're having this conversation. Okay. We're having this conversation because if your mind is working against you, you will self-sabotage. Your business will be sabotaged. Things you do in life, your choices will be different. And so it's important. Okay.
So computer thing, you got programs that run in the background.
Mm-hmm.
Your computer, what you're watching right now, if you're using your phone or if you're using your computer, stuff is running in the background. There are programs running stuff all in your computer. You don't even know they're running.
Oh, excuse me. Mm-hmm.
You don't even know they are running.
Mm-hmm.
The program is running. We got programs in our lives that are running in the background, and we don't know, and Karen can speak to this, we don't know why we keep self-sabotaging and why we keep doing things. We got programs running in the back that we've never addressed. There's a weed back there that we never pulled up.
Uh-huh.
We don't know how it works. Okay, all of you who know how your computer works and knows every little code and whatever's going on, raise your hand. I can't raise my hand because I don't know how it works. I know if I push this button, this is going to happen. All of that's happening on the surface, but there's stuff that's going on in the background, and it's talking to one another.
Yep. Now, yep. Karen says, yep. Also, we let others give us their stuff. Yep.
Right.
And then Jerry says, phone to my TV. You know what I mean? Yeah.
So we again, when something goes in, hey, Dr. Tachi, when something goes in,
Tachi,
your mind is going to try and process it and put it to work in your life. Your mind is going to try and use it. It doesn't matter what it is. So if you are over listening to the wrong thing, whatever you listen to, whatever you're reading, whatever you're watching on TV, it's getting in there, and your mind is trying to produce it and get it to go. It doesn't know that it's bad or good. We know whether it's bad or good because the outcome, what is the outcome going to be? If I eat this donut and keep eating this donut every day, what is that outcome going to look like for me? After about a week or so, what is that going to look like for me? I made the choice. My subconscious mind is like, okay, I guess she wants to eat the donut, so we'll just go along with her, and it has no say so except for to try and process whatever it is. So we got stuff running in the background. We got processes from grandma used to tell me this. My friend told me this. Or my parents told me this. And that program is still running in your background. That program is still running, and we can't seem to figure out why can't I just get past this thing? You need to figure out what that programming is. Now, on a computer, how do you get rid of negative programming? Anybody know?
Well,
I'm just trying to see if anybody especially on a PC, there is a control there is a command that we can do to reset a computer. What would that be?
And Jerry says, yes, it's all our choice. Yes, it is.
Right. So what is the thing that you do on a computer? Jerry, one of them is delete. On a computer, there's a command called Control Alt Delete that will interrupt a process on your computer. When you hit, reboot is another one. And the command to reboot the system is Control Alt Delete. You hit Control Alt Delete. See my shirt? That resets the system. It should get the malware out, set the system back to factory standards, set it back to where it is working. Yeah, on my shirt. Control Alt Delete. Can't. I might have to stand up.
We saw it.
So when you hit that, it resets the system. Now you can program the right information in. Control, meaning that you need to take control of the thoughts that are coming into your mind. Alter, if you got stuff that's in there and the information that you're getting on a consistent basis, whatever you're watching and whatever you're reading is not serving your purpose, then you need to alter that information. Control Alt. And then you need to delete some stuff.
Oh, I can get with that.
You may need to delete what grandma and them said. You may need to delete what mama and them said. You might need to delete what Uncle Willie said. You also may need to delete some people out of your life.
Exactly. You may need to detox your life, go through your relationships as well as your actions.
Right.
Karen has a comment up here. Okay. Yeah, one of the big reasons why I'll tell you the work that's involved in deep, and most do not want to commit to doing it consistently. In other words, this whole thing of, checking your thoughts. People don't want to do that.
Yeah. Hey, Alfredo. And Alfredo, you're right. Altering your information. You have got to reset that whole system and get it. I'm like, I need a new playlist.
I like it. A new playlist. People understand that.
This new playlist is not working for me. So what's going on in your headset? You bebopping along, but what are they telling you? That it's not going to work for you? Hey, Al. Hey, Yolanda. Al said, or remove people from my life. Had to do that in February, March of 2020 and not engage with 2 people who I thought were my friends.
Well, sometimes it's not just that they're not friends. It's just that, they don't understand what you're doing. If you're running a business in particular, they may not want to give up their time with you. There's just a lot of things that are going on that they may not even understand, or you may not even understand.
And here's the thing, but you have to do what you need to do for you. Even if somebody doesn't understand you or understand me, I have to make a shift for my well-being.
You have to make an executive decision about who you're going to let speak into your life, be in your life, and what you're going to let, what thoughts you're going to let enter your life, be in your life. You know what I'm saying? Who are you going to listen to? Where are you going to get your information from?
And all of that. And especially you have to evaluate, where did I get this thinking? Yes. And Karen says we all grow on different paces. And we have to be okay to out people. You have to do it.
I thought you said indeed.
So there is a book coming. You do know that, right?
I'm looking forward to it.
So the book is coming, and it's called Control Alt Delete. Talk about reset your mind and thrive. We're supposed to be thriving. And if I'm not thriving, there means there is some information that I'm getting that is not serving my purpose. And I need to figure out what that is. I need to reset my systems. I should not be in a place where my business is not thriving. Here's the thing: if I'm not thriving, my business is not thriving.
And that's real.
Because my programming, there's malware in the program. I need to figure out where the malware is. Why is this not working? You've been hearing my story about my computer, that brand new Mac, and I know iMac worked. Brand new computer, and I'm like, why is this system running slow? It's not supposed to run slow, and it was running slow. And they kept taking me through a bunch of stuff until they said, well, bring it back to the manufacturer. I took it back to the manufacturer. They had put the wrong piece in. They had put the wrong part in. I could have just tried to limp along, but not as much money as I paid for that. I'm not limping along. I need to know why this is not working.
Now, see, you just made a statement right there. When we invest in ourselves, we're more likely to follow through. It's like, I don't know, I paid $5,000 for this course. I'm finishing this course. You know what I'm saying to you?
You're going to figure out what is going on. And I need to find out what is going on. I need to unearth, discover whatever it is. And if necessary, reset and figure out what to do next. So today we talked about programming. What's running in your programs? What's running in the background? Them background programs. Have you seen on your phone where this program is running in the background? Do you still want it to do that? It's just running in the background. Or do you only want it to run while you're using the app? Because while it's running in the background, it is using up resources. Battery, which could be our energy. Our energy is being taxed because of these programs that are running in the background. Okay, I'm like, oh, I just got a revelation.
I know, you need to make a note of that.
The energy, your energy is being drained. Your battery life is being drained by some of them programs running in the back. And how about all the apps that we are not using that's just hanging out over there? How many apps on your phone do you not use, but they're still there? So many that you got to keep swiping through trying to find what you want.
How many of them are open? How many times have you picked up your phone and realized, let me see how many windows I really have open? Jerry says,
unfinished business.
Yeah. Hey, Carlos, it's great to have you in the house. Yeah.
Unfinished business. We got programs and apps all over the place. I've seen somebody, I kid you not, they had like 30 windows open in their browser. I was like, okay, you need to shut all that down.
But you know something? Sometimes people do not know how to close windows. They don't even know that that's going on. So here's the thing. You need to know how you operate. And how to operate you better.
Right. Get to know yourself, who you are, what makes you tick, and that may require that getting somewhere, get quiet, and find out, do I really like chocolate ice cream? No, they just been giving it to me and I was eating it, but I really don't like chocolate ice cream. Who are you really? That's the first part of that. And then where did the programming come from? Who told you this or that? Where did you get that school of thought? Oh, that's where we've always been raised. But really, is that serving you right now? Is that school of thought, that programming taking you where you want to go?
And where do you go to get another school of thought?
You got to pick some better books.
There you go.
Some better movies. You got to pick some better, change the playlist. I had to do that recently. I'm like, okay, I can't keep hanging around these people. I can't keep hanging around them because their school of thought, the way they think, how they operate, is wasting my time. and my energy.
And eventually someone's going to have to adapt. Either they're going to have to adapt to you or you're going to have to adapt to them in order to peacefully coexist.
Right.
Okay. So,
And okay, we are on team you.
mhm.
We are for team you. We want you to win. And so you're going to have to go to the front of your own line.
And remember that you have a cheerleader and a coach over here at BizChicks. We are rooting for you.
So this has been an excellent conversation. We have one more installment of Finish so that you can get on with your goals. We've been talking about goals. September is the new January. And now we're actually in the first week of October. This is so exciting. And so I want to play this final installment of Finish, because we need you to get to your goals. I think you're going to like it. If you want to stick around and talk a little bit about it afterwards, you can, because you're going to hear something that was astounding. It's something I thought was astounding. I was like, oh my gosh, how could you make that kind of call? Anyway, so without further ado, let me see. I'm going to set this up. And I'm going to make sure that I've got...
I see so many people in here. I see Carlos, it's great to have you. Yolanda, Jerry, Taji, who else is in here? I'm looking up here. Al, good morning, everyone. Karen. And if I missed your name, it's because I'm scrolling too fast. But good
okay, Jerry, I think I'm rolling here.
Thank you for joining us.
Can you hear it?
We can hear it.
Did I share it?
Yes, we shared it and we can hear
Can you remember a time you failed where something just didn't go the way you wanted it to go? There are two times that come to my mind very quickly. One time was a sale we had. We launched a big new product, and I was really excited about it. And so I called my sales guy. And I usually call him 100 times a day when we launch something. And I said, what happened? Give me the numbers. Give me the numbers. And he said, sure, no problem. One guy bought it. His name was Raymond. I said, no. Don't tell me each individual person that bought it. Give me the total sales, 100 people, 200 people. And he said, no, that is the total. A man named Raymond bought it. And if you're not in sales, let me just tell you, you never want your whole sales funnel, your whole results to have a name like Raymond or Fred or Sheila. The second time I failed that still sticks with me was something that happened with FedEx. I did a 3-hour version of the Finish talk at FedEx corporate headquarters, and it was amazing. It was so fun. And the best part was they ordered books for everybody. They ordered copies of Finish for everybody. And my publisher sent me an email. And in the email was the tracking information for all the books. And so I clicked on the tracking link. And you know what I found? It was a UPS tracking link. But let me say that another way. I UPS books to the FedEx corporate headquarters. A brown truck had to pull up to the FedEx security gate, roll the window down, and say, hey, I've got some Jon Acuff books in here. He's a business expert. Where should I drop them off? I'm not familiar with your campus. That was embarrassing. And when I was speaking, I could see all the boxes of UPS books in the background. Now, see, the challenge about failure is that it's really easy to remember, isn't it? Failure is loud and neon. It's obvious. It's hard to forget. But unfortunately, progress is often just the opposite. Progress is quiet. It's invisible. It's small. And progress you don't measure doesn't exist, especially as you try to finish a goal. I call it the candle effect. Imagine you're in a dark room. You're in a black room and there's no windows and you light one candle. The effect would be massive. The light would be so bright. If you lit a second candle, same thing. A third candle, same thing. But what would happen when you lit the 100th candle? By the 100th candle, the 200th candle, you'd barely notice the difference. The progress gets smaller, and that happens with goals. The first month, you notice it. The second month, but once you're into month 9 or a year in, it's hard to see the progress, and you start to lose sight, and you'll start to get discouraged. And that's when you need data. You see, data kills denial and prevents disaster. Data tells us the truth. Data will say, hey, here's how things are going. Here's where you need to improve. Here's what's working. Here's what's not. And we need to listen to data. The problem is sometimes we don't like data. Sometimes we have a hard time with data. I remember the first time that happened for me. I was at a restaurant. I was with a team, and we were in New York City, and we were all going to order big New York meals. The kind of cheeseburgers where it comes out, it's the size of a Frisbee, and they put a sword in the top for you to just slay it. And we opened the menus, and next to the name of each item were the calories. You see, in New York, they made them put the calories on the menu, and suddenly everybody's order changed. These big meals turned into sad little salads. People said, no, just give me grilled chicken, salad dressing on the side. Not Hidden Valley. Who knows what they're hiding? Probably calories. I'll just take a light brown water and I'll dip my lettuce in bit by bit. And the calories, knowing that changed our meal. Now, the funny thing is the calories were always there. The data was just trying to tell us, hey, if you want your pants to fit, if you want to be healthy, here's what you should order. That was actually helpful. And what happens in the middle of a goal, as you try to finish it, data will try to teach you the truth. Data will try to tell you, here's where you're headed, here's the disaster, let me save you. And if you'll listen to it, you'll actually benefit. There's 3 examples I think of with that. The first was with a big medical facility. I knew somebody who was running an office of neurosurgeons. And neurosurgeons, I think we can all agree, are very, very smart. And one week, a neurosurgeon came to my friend and said, hey, I just saw 4 patients from Murfreesboro. This was in Nashville, and Murfreesboro is a town on the outside of Nashville. And he said, I think we should open a new facility in Murfreesboro. And so my friend was smart enough to say, well, let's hit pause for a second. Let's check the data. So he went back to the full year of data and said, how many people this year came to see us from Murfreesboro? If we're going to open a new branch there, how many people came? And so he looked and he looked and he looked, and you know what he found? In the entire year, only 12 people had come from Murfreesboro. 12 people. The problem was 4 came in 1 week. And so it seemed like there were a lot. If they hadn't looked at the data, can you imagine the amount of money they would have wasted building a new facility? Data told them the truth, and it saved them something very, very expensive. The second thing I think about this, when I think about data saving us, was in the food industry. I asked a food industry expert, you ever see data hurt a chef or save a chef? And he said, I see it all the time. He said, I know a chef, and his restaurant's going to go out of business. He's going to go bankrupt. And I said, how do you know? And he said, well, I'll give you an example, because he's ignoring the data. He said he has a $22 meal, and it costs him $19 to make. He's got a $13 cut of meat and a $6 sauce. He said before he's even turned on the lights, before he's hired anybody, before he's purchased a plate or silverware, he's got $19 in it. I said, well, why is it so expensive? And he said, because he makes it with an 80-year-old bottle of scotch. Now, can we all admit that most people can't tell the difference between an 80-year-old bottle and a 40-year-old bottle? I mean, you've never been at a restaurant and seen somebody say, ugh, what is this swill? Was this scotch from before or after World War II? And this is not even a scotch that's been lit on fire. I mean, it's been lit on fire to make a sauce. And he's going to go out of business. Now, if he stopped for a second and said, okay, would it matter more to me to stay in business or have an 80-year-old bottle of scotch? You know what he'd pick? He'd say stay in business, but he wasn't looking at the data. The last example happened with Trader Joe's. I don't know if you have Trader Joe's where you live, but it's kind of like at Whole Foods if Whole Foods played more Frisbee golf. It's a hippie, fun, really interesting grocery store. And one of the things they do that's really smart is they had a stuffed animal inside Trader Joe's. And if your kid finds a stuffed animal and tells the manager, they get a free lollipop. Now, this is smart for 2 reasons. Number 1, it turns your kid into a Trader Joe's advocate. Little kids can see logos faster than adults can. Little kids can recognize shapes and symbols and colors. You've experienced this. You ever try to change the channel quickly, and as you change, your kid sees Peppa Pig and goes, wait, that's my show. They can spot things. So my kids all of a sudden would spot the sign for Trader Joe's. We'd be driving by and they'd go, we gotta go, because we wanted the lollipop. So that's the first thing that's really smart. The second thing is when you walk through an entire grocery store looking for something, you tend to find things you didn't know you need. You tend to buy extra things. You tend to go, oh yeah, We're out of blood orange olive oil. Oh yeah, we need sesame encrusted ahi tuna. We spent hundreds of dollars over and over again as we walked around for the stuffed animal. So when we moved to Nashville, we were really excited. We are going to go to Trader Joe's and see what their stuffed animal was. Because at each location, the animal is just a little bit different. In Florida, it'll be a stuffed animal that's a dolphin. In California, a golden bear. So we thought maybe it'll be a bear playing a guitar. It's Nashville, it's the music city. And so we walked around. We went down every aisle in Trader Joe's and we couldn't find it. So we went up to the manager and said, this is a little embarrassing, but we can't find the stuffed animal. And he said, yeah, we don't do that here. Now, what's the benefit to him? Do you think he calls his district manager at the end of every quarter and says, hey, saved another $9 in lollipops. We're crushing it. Of course not. There's no ROI for him not to do it. But he's just never looked at the data. He's never looked at the numbers. And if you don't look at the data as you work on a goal, it gets really difficult to finish it. See, here's what data is trying to do. Data is trying to teach you self-awareness. Data is trying to tell you, here's how you work best. Here's how you're successful. I meet people all the time that'll be really good at one part of their life and really struggle with another. So they'll be really amazing at their finances. They'll know every penny. They'll have envelopes, but then they'll be really out of shape. And they'll say, John, I wish I could figure out how to stick to this diet. And I always say, well, take what's working in this area and apply it to this other one. Take the data from there and figure it out over here. If you needed a coach in the gym, then do a coach for your personal finances. Figure out what works. And it always reminds me of some friends I talked to. I had 3 executives tell me, you know, John, I get so much work done on airplanes. I should just fly more. And that's what a lot of people do. They never ask, okay, well, why is that really the case? Why do I get more work done on a plane? The answer isn't fly more. I'll tell you the answer. The answer is to look at the data. Things like this. Number one, when you're on a plane, you have deadlines. You have a series of deadlines that help you. You have a deadline of what time you're going to get on the plane. You have a deadline of what time you can use your computer. They actually do an audio ding that tells you, okay, now I can get it out. You have all these series of deadlines. The second thing, you have a limited amount of work. You can't bring every project. You have a very limited amount of work. The third thing, you have a weak internet connection. You can't go browse the internet. You can't go watch Netflix. You have to focus. And the fourth thing, nobody knows you. It's really easy to get your work done. Data will teach you how you work on a plane so that you can then work on land the same way. What if those executives said, you know what? I need to focus on only a handful of projects. You know what? I need to go to a coffee shop where nobody knows me. You know what? I need some deadlines. I'm going to set a timer on my phone. See, that's what's amazing about data. Data will teach you all of that and so much more if you'll track it and listen to it. Here's what I've learned. Starting is fun. It is, but the future belongs to finishers. If 92% of all goals fail, can you imagine what will happen when you become the 8% that finishes? You become rare, you become valuable, you become successful. So I want you to remember, there were 6 things we talked about. Number 1, be clear about the 4 parts of a goal. Get your results, your timeline, your actions, your motivation down. Number 2, get the size right. Make sure you have the size of the things you're working on correct. Number 3, choose what to bomb. Choose what matters and choose what doesn't. Number 4, make it fun if you want it done. Add some joy to the parts of your goal that need it the most. Number 5, eliminate your secret rules. And the last thing, use data to stop denial. I'm so thrilled that I got to share some principles about what it takes to finish, and I can't wait to see what you do with them.
That was good. Okay. I can't hear you.
That was really good. And I was gonna
I enjoyed it.
Look at the comments. Karen put in a comment while it was going on. She said, this is how I stopped a coaching business friend from opening, how she coached a business friend from opening a restaurant using data and numbers.
Mm-hmm. Jerry says, very good. Thank you. Mm-hmm.
So, did you notice what he did? The big faux pas he committed at the beginning of the video, where he went to FedEx. FedEx, sold a bunch of book to FedEx, and the people ordered, and he used UPS to deliver. I was like, I cringed for him. I cringed. I was like, no, but you have to recover. and he did. So using the data, what's been working for you? Have you been tracking? This is why we keep talking about tracking numbers. And Coach Karen will tell you this too. What are your numbers telling you? And yes, Dr. Pachi said the Trader Joe's example was spot on. I was like, dang, dude, what is it?
I love that because I can see it. I can see the kids wanting to go there, just like they took us to McDonald's for the toys. And with someone to overlook such a great strategy.
And he did. He really just like, oh, we don't do that here. Wow. So I guess if we looked at his numbers, his sales would be lower than the sales of the other Trader Joe's who do it.
More than likely, because the more you walk through a store, the more likely you are to pick up something else that you didn't need. How many people go into the 99-cent store with $20 and come out with $60 worth of stuff?
Because they cut the store stage for you to do that, unless you went in with a list that you were sticking to. Oh, I can use that. Oh, I can. Okay.
And it's only 99 cents.
And then Yolanda, she said she loved the example of the chef. Cost of ingredients were very important. Had to apply to soap.
Oh, to make soap.
Oh, okay. And because he wasn't, because what was it? He was trying to sell the dinner. He was $19 into the
hamburger. $22. So and he hadn't turned the lights on. He hadn't cleaned the bathrooms. He hadn't set the tables. He hadn't paid his wait staff, his sous chef, none of that.
But he was already there because he was using the 80-year-old bottle of scotch.
Yeah.
Nobody.
That he was going to set on fire and burn the alcohol off anyway.
So scotch is scotch. Alcohol is alcohol. Like, do we really know what the difference is?
Yep.
Dr. Tachi says it's such a simple thing. The money spent on the lollipops pales in comparison to what people spend in the store. Right?
And maybe being the manager, he didn't want to be bothered with that. Well, if it's something you don't want to do, delegate it. He had a whole store of employees. Let's see here. She said,
yeah. And then Claudia. Yes, the numbers changed my meal prep perspective. I was using too much time and not able to spend time with other aspects of my business. Right. So there are two metrics you're looking at, time and money, right? You're looking at, okay, how much time am I spending on this? Because time is money. And how much are all my ingredients and everything that I need to put into this? So say, for instance, you're making blankets, Jerry or Terry, how much are you putting in? So you got material, you got the buying the pattern.
Yes.
Thank you, Dr. Tachi. The Mad Dog.
I haven't heard that Mad Dog 2020 since I was in college. Anyway, go ahead.
So you have all of the ingredients that go into it. If you're sewing something, you got material costs. You have to go, how much time does it take you to shop to go get the material, to get the transfers, to buy all of these other little things? This is all data that's going to help you with your price. And maybe that's why some people price their stuff so low, because they really don't know the true costs.
And also, I think too, they're trying to compete with prices if they're doing something that is handcrafted with prices that are mass produced, and you can't do that because it's a different standard, it's a different quality, it's customized. You'll just end up not making a profit and working yourself for pennies.
Let's go with Coach Karen. Carlos and Tachi are having a conversation.
Yeah, I'm glad maybe they'll see each other there in Miami.
Right. Let's. Karen had another comment. She
Right
said we
here, my
started
kid.
mapping this year that every store I go to, there's a list for that store. See, she has a list for that store. I coach catering right now, and she's coaching a caterer, and her food cost was crazy, and she was still fighting me for a while on the numbers.
Mm-hmm.
And she said it took 6 weeks for her light bulb and her light bulb to come on, and her net profit got to breadcrumbs for her to let go.
When she realized she wasn't making any money. And
Right.
and I think that's what happens, that people get discouraged when in fact they have customers, they just are not charging enough. Oh,
Or they haven't looked at the data.
mhm. Because they didn't factor in their overhead, they didn't factor in their gas, they didn't factor in their time. It's just, oh, it's a skill that comes so naturally to me that I can just charge pennies for it. But you had to get this.
This is why you need to talk to Coach Karen. If you're not sure how to do pricing, if you're not sure how to set up a budget for whatever it is, there should be a budget for each aspect of whatever it is that you do.
Oh, and here's what she says: because the data feels like failure. When in fact, I found that tracking the data to them, it feels like failure to them. I guess she was.
Yeah.
When I found, in fact, that the data showed me that I was actually making money.
Yep. But you don't see it because you're not tracking the data. And then there was one time Karen was on one of the Wednesday shows. She was talking about a person that was making money, but the money was going out the door because they weren't tracking it. She was tracking it coming in, but the people it was walking out. It was the husband or somebody was like, "Oh, we just take a little bit of this." You understand what I mean?
Yeah.
So when you go back and start looking at your numbers, it's okay. Don't be afraid of them. Go in, brace yourself, look at the numbers, because when you see the numbers, you can make a different choice.
And Karen says it's because you didn't know what's going on.
Right.
Well, Carlos has jokes here.
Yeah.
We're going to skip over that. Okay. What data, Carlos says?
And the husband was the one, and Karen had talked about the husband was, the wife was bringing in all this profit, and the husband was just like, ding, da, da. Oh, we just got this. And he was just pulling it out, and, he was spending it as fast as it came in.
So then there was no money to reinvest in the business. And she felt like a failure because there was no money in the bank account. I'm working all of this, and where is the money? Okay.
Because the husband was like, "Oh, we got money."
And it's not always the husband. Sometimes it's just us.
In this case, it was the husband.
Yes, in this case, yeah.
So the bottom line is, you can make it to the finish line, but you're going to have to mine that data. You got to watch the data. It helps. I was like, wow.
Well, the question is, are you going to run across the finish line, or are you going to drag yourself across the finish line?
You don't have the data where you know where the finish line is.
Exactly. That too. All of that is so important. And those are the answers that data will give you.
So today we talked about programming, and we talked about the data. What is it? Denial. Something about denial.
Hold on. I wrote it down. Let's see. Denial of data. Failure is loud. Progress is quiet. And data kills denial.
Data kills denial. Okay. So even if the data, the size 16, 18, 24 on the clothes is data that I need to pay attention to.
Mhm.
And if if the clothes don't fit, don't buy anything bigger. I need to do something so that the data runs the other direction, right? That's what I have to do.
Something needs to change. Yes.
The data says something needs to change.
Yes. The data tells us whether or not it's working, guys.
And I mean, the numbers don't lie. The data doesn't lie. I was like, oh, okay. Or we can la 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 la, or we can look at it and make a difference.
There you go.
Thank you, Yolanda. Data kills denials and delusions. So with that, we are going to say happy Monday to you. We're looking forward to your success. You can find John, I don't know why I call him Jim. Jon Acuff. His book is called Finish. You can rewatch these little snippets that he taught in previous Coffee Thoughts.
Mhm.
If you want to join BizTix, you text BIZ to 33777. You'll get a free standard operating procedures for success in business.
Mhm.
We have First Mondays tonight,
Mhm.
and it'll be at 4:00. We're going to have a couple people come on and talk to us a little bit about what they do and some little tips for you. Today, Lakeisha Appleton will be with us, going to talk to us about our fall makeup type stuff. What the seasons have changed, and what we learned is that you don't wear the same
Look every season.
you change up with the seasons. And I'm looking forward to, if you want to share a couple of things, Coach Karen, if you're available this evening, we'd like you to join in. And Dr. Tachi, if you have something that you'd like to share, we'd like to offer you that opportunity as well. We'll be here at 4:00 p.m.
Pacific time.
Pacific time. Yes, we do need to make that distinction since we're from all around the world. And just want to say thank you for tuning in. We appreciate you.
We appreciate you guys.
We're always here to help you build a profitable business that's fun to run and to take the hassle out of your hustle.
So remember to go to the front of your own line, and we'll see you this evening at 4:00 Pacific time for First Mondays. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.